Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another edition of Totally Not Clickbait 2.0 about, Skyhook Games' rendition of the infamous Horseshoe Curve coming for Train Sim World 2. They announced, was it late last year? It's late last year sometime. I don't remember when. They announced they were making the infamous Horseshoe Curve for Train Sim World 2, of course. And they have recently released not only a date it's going to be released on, but new information and new screens as well. So we're just going to take a look at those, just give my brief, general, and completely useless thoughts on the matter as well. But first and foremost, the announcement of the release date is April the 12th. I think that's a Tuesday, which is kind of odd. And it's also got a pre-order right now, so it's 10% off, as with typical pre-orders for Train Sim World 2. So it's $26.99 instead of the typical $29.99. Now, keep in mind, this is the same group that made Lawn Mowing Simulator and Cane Creek as well. Now, Cane Creek, some people like it, some people didn't. It had some nice scenery and parts, but playability and the rolling stock for the most part was just generally bad. So anyway, we're just going to take a look at some pictures here. Like I said, the pre-order is now available. There's a new article. I will list it down below. Anyway, this is kind of the leading photograph of what you see. This is obviously doctored. These headlight flares, we're not going to get that in the game. I can pretty much guarantee that. The sky, negative. Definitely no. Colors have been bumped up, things of that nature. But one of the things you can notice right off the bat is the handrails. Now, some of you might remember from some of the previous photos they released and the previous definitely not clickbait video I did on the matter, the handrails. But if you look on the rear handrail, is that still supposed to be bent like that? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't really know, but the front one looks to be corrected. But it looks like they've kind of fixed their coloring overall as far as the foliage in the mountains and things like that. But again, I think this is a highly doctored photo. So we're going to scooch on to the next one here. All right, here's another one. This is not as doctored. You can see some issues going on with the numbers there. And these handrails look correct. So these handrails have been fixed. So that looks normal. The headlights still just don't look real at all. It's just that bland, just white color, just nothing to it. It's terrible. I wish they'd fix that. They kind of did a good job, and by they I mean Dovetail Games, not Skyhook Games, with the SD70ACE for Sherman Hill. I wish they'd continue with that with American freight locomotives, because that's the color they emit. It's more of a yellow, not this, doctor's office color light up here. You can also see an E-bell down here, so they got that. It's no longer mechanical. This, of course, is the ES44AC. It's going to come with the route itself. You can see the stack train behind us, and that's one of the things that I've noticed as well right off the bat. I'm assuming they got these from Sherman Hill, from Dovetail, obviously, sharing assets and things of that nature, but it just looks way, way too colorful. This stuff does come over the curve in the area, but it's more domestic. And again, this just looks way too colorful. It looks weird. Needs more yellow and green and white and things of that nature. But let's on to the next. Here's the curve itself. We got a tank train rounding the bend here. I don't know what to think of this shot. I think the angle of the sun doesn't help, and I think being zoomed out doesn't help. And just the angle of the photo in general. I do like that the mountains were covered with trees and whatnot. I'm sure it's a mix of 3D and 2D. They've got the little foamer park down here with the GP9, which I would like to add is the wrong way around. So if I'm not mistaken, I think the long hood is facing that way and the short hood's facing that way. But they've still got that this whole area put in here, and there's kind of like a rail fan scene going on, so you can see pictures or people taking pictures down here. Another thing I've noticed is back here is still just a dirt road. This is a highway back here in real life. I don't know what the hell's going on with that, But the reservoir's right here. The distance scenery still looks kind of funky. It's Train Sim World. There's not much they can do about that. I think that's a game limitation, or how they build it, within the game, or how they allow it to be built. I really don't know what I'm saying. But it's got that kind of fog, so you don't see the horizon. I don't know. It just looks weird, though. Not a fan of it. So there's that. Here is a picture from the park itself. This sign right here, this is a neat little tidbit. That's legit. As far as I know, this is a legit sign right here. That looks all right. So it'll be kind of cool to get in on foot and explore this and see how this guy's having some issues with his hair. To get a different barber. Anyway, so it'll be interesting to see how that looks. These are reused tankers, of course. DTGX. The benches look okay. I don't know if those benches are new or not. Some of the asphalt here, or not asphalt, but concrete on the ground looks kind of funky, and there's little bits of grass spitting through. The fence looks pretty nice. But overall, the foliage looks different. It looks like it's got more color, more life. I hope the photos weren't doctored in a way to kind of make it seem that way. I think they did generally fix it. The ballast, it's still dark. I feel like the ballast, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like it's still more of kind of like a rust color almost. But anyway, it looks, I don't know if that was touched up or not. I don't really remember. All right, on to the next. Here we go. Here's our stack train going around the bend again. There's your dirt road again, which I don't know if they're going to fix that, whatever. It looks really weird, though. And here is our definitely not European stack train. That looks super weird, man. That's a lot of pink and red and orange, and it's just super colorful. It looks like a freaking pack of Starburst or something. Like, it needs to be domestic, JB Hunt, EMP, Hub Group type stuff. Just, I don't know. It looks way too colorful. But anyway, so there's that photograph. Here's this one here with another ES44AC in the foreground. Grain cars look pretty good. Got some 3-bay hoppers. This look very nice. It's as nice as they can look for Train Sim World anyway. You can see a crossbuck up. There we go. See a crossbuck down here. A little bit. Can't really see too much else about that, but it'd be interesting to see what that looks like a bit further. And you can see in this photo really well, not only is the track jointed, so you got jointed track here, jointed rail, and the tree color looks a little bit different as well. It looks a little bit more prototypical. That's everybody's favorite word with Train Sim. Prototypical. It looks more natural, I guess you could say. Obviously autumn, fall, this would be the color. So there's that photo. The numbers look funky. Something's going on with these numbers. I hope they fix those. They look very low res. Either that or these photos are just low res. I don't know. This is kind of a split shot between the two. Now, I would also like to add, I will link down below the store page and the Dovetail Live article discussions where you can go and look at these photos for yourself and just have a think, have a look on it, have a think. But again, the foliage looks a lot better back here. I like this in the foreground here in front of this fence, different weeds and flowers and bushes and all that good stuff. It's down here as well. It looks, it looks a little bit more natural. You can see there again the E-bell and the railings have definitely been fixed. The handrails on the front of the locomotive there. Let's scooch on to the next. There's that. This is another one of those photos. It's just kind of like, yeah. I mean, when you take the tracks, okay, I'll take it. When you take the extreme, sides here with the trees and forest, okay, I'll take it. When you have these rocks, this rock face over here, okay, again, I'll take it. The train itself, sure, that's fine. Distant scenery back here, yeah, okay. But this looks terrible. This right in here. Now, this may be an issue because the way this game is built, the grass kind of sprouts out of the ground right in front of your eyes as you're going along down the track to save resources and memory and all that. You got to keep in mind they're building these for, old PlayStations and Xboxes as well. But That does not look good. This needs to be covered in just rubble and crap and trash and grass and weeds. And it's on both sides of the track. I mean, it's just very, very bare. If like just imagine, if you will, just fill your mind with crap on the right of way, just right on the edge of the tracks there. And then again, look at this photo and in that light. It would look so much better, wouldn't it? Or am I just that crazy about trackside scenery? I may be. Something else I've noticed about this photo as well is the headlights look different here. So if you look at some of these other photographs, they don't look like that. They just have that ugly, doctor's office white color there. The actual heads, not the ditch lights, have a nice color to them. I'm not totally sure what's going on there, though. Here's another one. Again, the brightness and contrast and everything in this game is insane. Thank God for INI settings if you're on PC, of course. More. You can obviously see they've corrected the locomotive for the most part, and they changed the bell again. They got the handrails up there. The number boards kind of look a little bit funky, like they're stretched out laterally and longitudinally. I don't know, maybe they need to be squashed down side and top just a bit. But yeah, it's just a pretty basic picture. Again, the tree colors and bushes look a little bit better. Thank God there's some weeds and stuff in here, but even over here you can kind of see it's just still very, very bare. On to the next. Now these are smaller. This is the best I could do here as far as these. But we'll click on these. It's another one again, just this. I think this is another angle from that photo a moment ago where I was crying about the trackside scenery or lack thereof. Same deal. The problem with this is the fact that you can see the patterning in the textures along the ground, in the rail bed, in the ballast. And when you don't have stuff on the side here, it just accentuates that so much more. So, hopefully, again, I don't know if they were taking pictures on like a PlayStation 2 or something with this, but hopefully it won't look like that when it's done. But we will see. Wait, is that it? No. There we go. Here's another picture of the park. So you can definitely see this Jeep is faced the wrong way around. And you got like a rail fan scene going on here. A bunch of foamers, foaming, taking photos. Oh my God, Horseshoe Curve, that whole thing. It's cool to have the Jeep there, I will say. Get it the right way around. Hopefully it's detailed enough to where it's not just like a second, thought thing just kind of sitting there, I guess. Go to the next. There's another one with the 38-2 and the ES44AC together. Again, I think it's just the same old, these are essentially the same locomotives that have been around since the game was the game, since Sand Patch Grade, long time ago. Apparently, they have updated this stuff. So, since their initial debut of the article and photos, they say that they have taken a ton of feedback over the last several months and done several things as far as reworking physics and brakes on the ES44AC, including new audio. There's apparently going to be new audio for this thing as well, so I am interested to see how that's going to turn out. The 38-2, they added gameplay to, so essentially more services on the timetable. So they added, I think, switching around Juniata shops, grain runs around Crescent, things of that nature. They say they added more details and key locations, and they say they improved performance on all platforms. So that's essentially just talking about old consoles. It's basically what that means. So let's hope, if anything, these things have decent sounds. I don't think I've heard anything as far as the Jeep about having any new sounds, but let's hope it does, because, well, it definitely needs them. Let's see what else we got here. Here's another shot of the Jeeps in action. Now, this trackside scenery doesn't look too shabby. You can see a bit of a bare kind of 2D mountain looking thing right there. It doesn't look too hot in the distance there. But again, these lights come on, you know, like how many times do we have to release freight locomotives from the States or North America that look like this? This is insane. That's way too bright. That glow, the flare on it, the color, it's all just no. N-O, no. It's another shot. Some of this stuff back here doesn't look too great, these buildings and assets and things. But again, I'd like to notate the foliage. The foliage color looks a lot better. This is a very low-res shot. I got this straight off the website, so blame their website. The stuff down here, again, could use a lot more just crap laying around, you know, like Billy Bob's McDonald's, you know, cup laying on the ground, things of that nature, wrappers, trash, whatever. Not rappers like hip-hop rappers, like trash rappers. But, you know, hip-hop rappers, I guess that could be a thing, too. If they would just add anything along here, that would be nice. But, in some of the areas, the ballast seems to look okay, but then you got the mixture between the ballast and the ground, which is very pronounced, and it just looks kind of funky. We got one in the rain, the terrible Train Sim World rain, which I've never been a fan of. It looks like little white ice daggers, just little lines. They don't look good, the raindrops in Train Sim World 2. So there's that. Let's see, we got another one. Now, here's the interior of the ES44AC, again, in the rain. I guess they didn't want you to see too much of the stuff up here because I bet you the ground is extremely bare. The cab looks fairly legit. I don't know if they changed these IFDs or not. They look a little bit different. I feel like they put these handles on here, or were those on there before? I don't recall. It looks like it's not loaded as far as this. It does have brakes applied. You can't really see much else. This is a step up from how it looked initially when they released interior photos. You can see the camera up there. It says down here that it's cut out. So yeah, it's just this loco was just sitting apparently. So here's some shop action. The Dash 2s. Doing their thing. It's going to be interesting to see what you can do with these things because, you know, the ES44s, you're just going to be going up and down the curve, basically. You know, I like doing stuff. I don't like just going from A to B, you know, sitting back and twiddling my thumbs. So I'm going to be very interested in what you can do with these GP38-2s. This building back here looks okay. The color looks a little funky. A lot of it just looks really low res for some reason. I don't know if it's the photos themselves or what, but you can see some weathering back here on that building, which looks nice in this prominent stack here, which this looks like, you know, at least part of this was a custom asset. I might like to think anyway. We'll see. But that's it. That is the end of the photographs. So yeah, again, Skyhook Games, the peeps that did King Creek and, of course, Lawn Mowing Simulator and a lot of other stuff for the old Train Sim Classic. Released a new article, new photos, and a date, again, of April 12th, which this will be released. And on Steam, anyway, there's a pre-release price of $26.99. Now, something that would be cool to see on this route, you know, if we ever get to that point, if it's decent, is Conrail. Definitely Conrail. That would be sick. Some road railers, some Triple Crown, maybe an SD80 Max, some stuff like that would be very cool because it's pretty much looked the same since the late 80s or early 90s, I think. So we could definitely run some CR up in this place, and that Conrail blue would add a nice pop to the area itself. But anyway, that's it, guys. Just wanted to go over the photos and go over a few things. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments down below, or you know, you just have any thoughts or ideas or anything like that, just let me know. But that's it, guys. Hopefully next stop as far as this will be next week when it releases, and I will most definitely be taking a look at this all up in it like a tick on a dog's ass. But that's it for now, guys. Take care out there. I'll see you next time.